The intended use of this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the host and guests independently, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of UpDog Challenge Incorporated, its sponsors, or any other partnered organizations. UpDog Challenge Incorporated does not guarantee the accuracy or reliability of any opinions expressed. In no way should the information provided during the Sweet Spot, an UpDog podcast be considered veterinary, medical, legal, or professional advice. At all times, the advice of your personal professional should supersede any information provided, derived, or inferred from listening to this podcast.
Ready, set, go.
Hey Dre, how's it going?
Hey Jack, pretty good.
Dre and I are headed off in different directions of the country. Dre is on her way, I believe, out to California.
Yep.
And tomorrow I leave to head up to Nova Scotia, Canada. And before we left, though, we wanted to get some new podcast episodes out there. We appreciate those folks who reached out to us and were like, hey, we missed the podcast. I know we've been gone a couple weeks. And before we jump into our next episode and our next topic, we just wanted to touch base with you a little bit. First of all, to remind you of the main reason that this podcast exists is to entertain you guys. And in between contests, we want you to be engaged with UpDog, engaged with cool Disc Dog conversations. And we wanted to just kind of keep those conversations going in between contests and build our community, let you guys get to know each other better and make good friends.
Yeah, and we also want this to be a safe space for guests and for our listeners to present different opinions, and generate conversations and discussions. We're learning and maturing as a podcast, and you may have heard our disclaimer that we put together for the benefit of our listeners and for the podcast. So we hope that everyone enjoys listening and joins the discussions, because we love these discussions on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, or the platform of your choice.
All right, let's get into it, Dre. What's our topic for the week?
What's up, the world of Disc Dogging for August? Coming up, we're on the last week of July.
August 2025.
Yep.
And we've scoured the Disc Dog discussion page, the UpDog discussion page, for hot topics and upcoming events that we wanted to keep you updated on. So everything in the world of UpDog for sure, and a few extras as well.
Yeah, and if you have an event coming up next month, don't forget to reach out to Jack or I and add it to our list, because we will read it off of your podcast and help everybody know around the country that you have an event coming up, especially if you're running a game that is not commonly run like Far Out or Freestyle. People are looking for those kind of events. So make sure you're letting us know you have something coming up. All right, Jack, what do you have for what's coming up in UpDog?
Yeah, and just to reiterate what Dre said, don't think just because you posted it on the UpDog Challenge discussion page that we necessarily saw it. The algorithm's weird, and sometimes I see stuff from like 6 months ago, and I don't see something that somebody posted like, that day.
Yep.
Anyways, all right. So we got some upcoming events that I found, and they sounded pretty cool. We're not going to tell you about just every little event. You can go on to the UpDog Challenge webpage, of course, you can click on events and it'll tell you all the events happening around the world. But when something kind of special comes up, we know that some of you guys put together, some special events, spend some extra time doing it. And that's when maybe you might want to travel to one of these events and take in something that is not your local crew.
Yep.
You always learn so much going to like another place to watch the games and hang out with people.
Yep.
All right.
Upcoming events.
Mid-South Disc Doggers. They are located somewhere in the Mid-South. Where are they located, Kat? They're located in Memphis.
All right, thank you.
And I was a guess. I was apparently right.
It's Mid-South, I guess. I live in the Mid-South.
They're putting on 2 events. One is the Nightmare Before Discmas, and the registration opens Friday, August 1st for that. So that was probably a couple days ago once this podcast airs. And also they've got another one called the Beat the Heat event, and that is happening on August 22nd and 24th. So if you need more info, contact the folks at Mid-South. I believe that's Jessica Gatewood's group, right, Kat? Did I get that right? Yes. Okay, good.
Rockstar.
I don't know where the Mid-South is, but I know
you got good points for that one. All right, I'll get the next one. K-pop Demon Hunters themed games. in Tacoola, Georgia. And is that a Bright Side or is there a different group in Tacoola now?
That is Roe that's running that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
it is at the Bright Side training
Oh,
facility, but
Rose running it. That's a
yeah.
great facility. All right, so K-pop Demon Hunters themed games. So that sounds Octobery. It is October. In Tacoma, Georgia, it's October 4th and 5th. There will be players packs, woo, masters, woo. Everybody like those masters divisions and open divisions. So that's a fun one in Georgia coming up first week of October.
Yeah, I reached out and tried to find out some information about this K-pop Demon Hunters, and
Yeah.
I did get some responses that left me more confused than ever. So apparently, I need to watch. There's a Netflix show, I guess.
Oh, what?
It's K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh, there's a show called that?
Yeah, and so anyway, I need to check that out. I know that they run great events there. I don't know if this is a date that Kat and I can get to, but it definitely is intriguing to me. So check that one out.
Yeah. That's not far from me either. Maybe we'll meet up there and figure out what K-pop demon hunters are.
Yep. I
All
don't know
right.
if there's anything I need to be prepared for that, but it sounds kind of dangerous.
I can at least show up and watch. All right. So the next one's yours, Jack.
So looks like in Rochester, Minnesota, over Labor Day, they are going to have an UpDog We're Throwing Down festival, disc dogging festival, UpDog festival, 3 days of UpDog, including the Triple Crown and
Awesome.
freestyle. That sounds like a really cool event. You can hit a lot of different games there. Get an opportunity
Get your
to
points.
to
Freestyle.
be engaged in the Triple Crown event as well. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's a really good one to hit. All right, next one. Ohio State Championship registration is open. The competition is October 17th through 19th, and you would contact Megan Miller. So I know that they changed that format, but that's not an UpDog event, is it?
Yeah,
It is an UpDog event?
yeah.
All right, what are the days? What are the events? Is it all UpDog or is it mixed with other qualifiers or
No,
Ohio Championship?
it's the UpDog state championships.
That's awesome. Have they done those in the past? The Ohio one? I'm not up in Ohio very often. Is
No,
this
I
the
believe
first
this
time?
is the first year. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, and
Awesome.
they've been talking about it for a while. They've got a promo video out.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah, they're serious, and they put on great events too.
That's
So
a
again,
3-day event too. So a
if
3-day
you,
event in Ohio, October 17th through 19th, all UpDog State Championship. That's awesome.
yep,
So they're probably gonna have freestyle there, maybe, or just games. Do
I
you
would
know?
imagine they're gonna have freestyle.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that a lot of these folks are going to be continuing to put things up on the discussion page. Keep checking that out. If any of these interest you, reach out to the person in charge and ask whatever questions you want to ask of them. I'm sure they'll give you some more information. All right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If I wanted to wear one of those, I'm not, I played disc golf. You know this. I played disc golf professionally for a few years, and they're called the little bags, the satchel. There's a there's a disc golf one called the nut sack. It's a little
Yep.
four disc
Yeah.
holder.
Yep.
So I figured I should explain that before asking if nut sacks are allowed. Wearing a satchel to hold discs, is it allowed? And is it a good thing? So I've been asked this before and it's been asked on our page if you have any limitations, or maybe if you don't have any limitations, is it allowed to wear a satchel to hold some of your discs in UpDog games? Jack?
So there is a general rule in UpDog that essentially, like, we didn't want to create rules about every
Right.
situation. Like, first of all, that's not any fun, and and it's not in the spirit of UpDog. The spirit of UpDog is strategize, come up with ways to earn your points, right? And so if there's not a rule against it, then it's allowed.
It's allowed.
So the only rule that I could see even kind of being in that frame of mind would be the rule about what you wear when you're playing freestyle and making sure it's safe.
Right.
So we wouldn't want you going out there with like some sort of crazy satchel that's dragging on the ground and you're going to trip over it or your dog's going to. But that's not what we're talking about. And so as long as it's not there's not a safety factor, it's allowed.
I just had so many creative ideas enter my head of like somebody creating like
Yeah, I
this
don't.
thing with like eight little bars that come off and there's magnets on the end and there's magnets on their disc and they like shoot it up and they come out for spaced out and their discs go and there's eight of them and they can just grab them and stick them to the
That sounds like something that might be at the K-pop Demon
this would
Hunters.
definitely be where our players would go. So the answer is yes, it's allowed because it's not allowed. And I think that this might open a can of worms of some creative ways to hold discs, and that should be interesting. But yeah, you are allowed to carry your disc in a satchel. And for those of our players who do have handicaps, physical handicaps that prevent them, like maybe you're in a wheelchair or you're on crutches or something like that, and you can't physically hold your discs, this can be a great way to still actively participate in the UpDog games and have equipment. So safety equipment, equipment to assist in your games, this would all be under that category. As far as your dog wearing goggles if they need them, or you needing safety equipment or a brace on your body, that is allowed. If your dog needs a brace on their body that protects them medically, that is allowed. So the concept to the question is if it's not in the rules that you're not allowed to do it, you are allowed to do it. But that just means that we might have a rule for it later if you come up with something that
Right.
isn't safe, because that's how we develop our
Yeah.
rules. You guys break things, and then we have to make more rules. But yeah, you can wear a satchel, and you
Yeah.
and you can strategize to be more efficient with your game in those ways, especially if you are handicapped in some way that you can't handle the discs or wrangle the discs in an effective way. We want you to still be able to participate fully in our games.
Absolutely.
And there is a bag you can get that's a disc golf bag that'll fit the discs, and it fits like four of them.
Is that the nutsack?
I wasn't going to say it again, but I'm happy that you did.
Yeah. Just like I said, don't let your nutsack drag on the ground
Don't let
because
your
it
nutsack
could
drag on the
be a
ground.
danger to you or your dog.
Keep it high and tight.
Yeah.
All right,
Okie
you're up.
dokie.
Next one.
All right. Let's move on to a different topic.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share, I thought this was cool. We had the AKC TV crew down
Yeah.
in Tampa last weekend, and they did some filming. AKC TV is a syndicated station. It's actually a full station, not just little shows here and there, but AKC is a syndicated station across the country that if you get a chance, check it out. You might see some UpDog on there. They were out at our local event filming some games, interviewing some folks. They did a short little segment just on UpDog in general, interviewed Kat and I for that, and they got some footage, I think, from some other things as well to put in there. But the thing I'm most excited about is they did a little bit of filming with us on doing some small, short training segments to get beginner teams, pet homes that maybe haven't gotten into dog sports, to help them get their dog into the game of disc. And
Mhm.
so if you see some of those out there, hopefully you tell your friends about them, and maybe we can get some more folks playing UpDog.
Yeah, that was super cool. They came out and did some filming. And that was really one of the big dreams that we had when we started UpDog was having more disc on TV. And so I'm really happy that in our 10th year we're really starting to see that more and more. It's not instead of just being like a dabble here and there or our one event, we're starting to have a little bit more saturation there. So that's exciting.
Yeah, and we'll also be on TV for our Freestyle Invitational, which will be happening
November.
in November, probably early November. So please don't
Well, we
schedule
already said in
yourself.
the other podcast, Kat said it's the first 2 weeks of November. And so that's already been said.
That's what we're shooting.
Yeah,
Shooting for is the first
we are
2 weeks of
shooting
November.
for the first 2 weeks of November. Obviously, logistics are sometimes out of our hands when it comes to a big TV production, but that is what we're shooting for. So if you are interested in that, it's going to be a freestyle and far out invitational.
Mhm. And there will
And
be a larger number of teams than you think. We're looking for a larger number of teams. Like it's not going to be, 8, 10 teams. We're looking for a larger number of teams for
that's
this
right,
event.
it'll be 11.
It'll be more than 11. Yeah, so it's
Well,
going to be a larger event for us. We're really excited about being able to feature more of our freestyle teams. And the purpose of that was really to offset not running the second round of of Criterion Freestyle at UpDiff. So this is a full freestyle event. We also have Far Out at that event, but our focus is to really put the focus on performance and Criterion Freestyle getting to shine. So we will make sure that we have our freestyle players there. It's not going to be a really short list. We want you guys to be well represented, and we want our favorite game to be well represented as well. So we're really excited about that. But first 2 weeks in November, so don't plan anything big those first 2 weekends. And when we have the logistics, we promise we'll let you know right away. But this one's out of our hands in regards to where it's going to be and what the date's going to be. Other than we're aiming for those first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right. Next exciting item, Triple Crown. So the Triple Crown is happening August 30th through September 28th. You guys voted. We put it on the group page, and our final
You guys voted, and then we vetoed you.
vetoed your vote because what you guys voted was the exact same 3 games as last year. And so we changed one of those games to be the second voted most game. So it's our fourth, the top three, it's the fourth one was Fireball. And since Fireball is one of our new games, is our newest game, we thought it would be great to get a little bit more opportunity for people to play Fireball by making it one of our Triple Crown games. So we have Fireball, Greedy, and Time Warp, which, by the way, were my 3 votes. Whoop, whoop.
And mine.
They were yours too. Yeah, so I think those are great Triple Crown games. They're all fun games I like to play, and obviously fun games you guys like to play because you guys voted for them. So,
I
oh,
think they're all like kind of high risk, high reward, at least Greedy and Time Warp. You
yep.
know, like
Well, Fireball too.
yeah, I mean Fireball, you have the
Fireball's
random
safe.
you have the randomness in there that could
Yep.
throw in, well, it throws in a random element.
Yep.
But in Greedy and in Time Warp, you could probably play that safe and know like, all right, if I play it safe, I can get this score. But if I go for it,
You could win.
I could get this score or 0.
Yep.
And in Time Warp, I could get this score or a much lower score because I get a miss or something.
Yep.
So it's definitely high risk, high reward. But we kind of like that about the Triple Crown. It mixes things up. You could have a wild card player in there that wins your Triple Crown, just because of how things went down with one game or 2 games or something like that. And that's what it's all about. You got to be a solid performer in all 3 games. And if you can really excel at one of those that day, the Triple Crown might be yours.
All right, so we have Fireball, then Greedy, then Time Warp in that order.
Yep.
What do you think of the order? I mean, I love the order. It starts with the most volatile game because people have the least experience, I would say, in general. So it starts right away with kind of like the wild card game.
I always it definitely makes a difference. Like my strategies change
Based on the order
depending upon how I did in the previous game. So if I go out there and I don't know, I get messed up by the fireball timer or whatever, and I just get a so-so score, then it's on for Greedy and Time Warp because at this point,
go for it.
if it goes bad, I'm already out of it unless I do something to get myself back in it with Greedy and Time Warp. So but if I did all right in Fireball, then
be safe and Greedy.
Right.
But regardless, it's coming down to Time Warp at the end, which is make it or break it. You got to throw it all. And so the Time Warp players out there have to be excited about, the people that really love Time Warp and really work on it have to be excited about Triple Crown ending with Time Warp. Because it's just one of those games that if you don't have a drop at a distance, if you don't, if your dog can't commit to that fourth one, if you're only a 3 and run back, it's a risk, right?
With the Triple Crown, it is definitely most of the time I am completely in the UpDog spirit of personal bests and what I'm doing with my dog, and I'm not really caring too much about whether or not where I place with other teams. But when it comes to the Triple Crown, I'm watching. I want to know what scores the rest of the teams got, because that also tells me how I need to react and play the next game. Right. If I kind of slipped up a little bit in Fireball, but then I also noticed that a couple other people slipped up, then maybe I'm still in it and I don't have to go all out and Greedy. Right. I just love all the strategery.
Yeah, and all of those games are really like volatile. Like one thing can go wrong. I mean, all of our games have a blow up factor, right? But I feel like four-way play and fragility have a lot less of a blow up factor than Fireball, Greedy, and Time Warp. So like those are like our big boom, like throw it all to the win. And
Big boom. What?
no, Boom was not. Boom was one of the last voted ones. The Boomers tried to make us all suffer through Boom for Triple Crown, but not this year.
I'm gonna talk to Babs. I think we need a Boomers Unite t-shirt.
Only when we get our Podheads t-shirt. We can get our Podheads t-shirt and then we can get our Boomers Unite t-shirt, but not until then. Yeah, so I like the order of that. I think that's a good one.
All right. So next up, I'll share this one because it's a local team to me that has been kind of just they stand out for me. They're a special team. We have a dog, a local dog that's struggling, going through some cancer treatments. And anybody that's ever gone through that, you know that those can be really expensive. And Becky and Backup, many of you guys know Backup as the dog that plays with Parker, Becky's young daughter. And Parker's the one that's always yelling and screaming for her dog, and it's just great to watch them play. And Backup, when he first started playing the sport, he was not super confident, kind of wary of his surroundings, like, but you could tell he loved the game and he really got into it. And I don't want to sound like, oh, UpDog changed his life, but I think I think playing disc changed his life. Like I think he's just such a confident dog now, and just they've grown as a team. Anyways, they're a special team to me, and I just wanted to share that they do have a GoFundMe page up. I don't want anybody giving money that they can't afford to give or whatever. But if you do feel like, hey, I've seen Backup at UpDiff and seen him play with Parker, and I'd like to donate a little bit. Please check it out. They put their GoFundMe on the discussion page. I think Linda Schoenberger put it up there for them. And I also brought this up because I thought this was a good way to remind folks that, stuff happens in our community, right? Things happen that sometimes are out of our control and they end up costing money. And any little bit always helps if somebody's in a situation like that. And we have a thing called, you can do a mulligan event where you can sell mulligans. And so like you charge a particular amount for a mulligan, and basically there are rules to the mulligan. I don't remember what they are exactly, so this is one of those times where the disclaimer comes in. Guys, you want to check my facts. But it's essentially something like within the first 30 seconds or something, if the round is not going good, I can scream out mulligan and I get a redo. And it's just fun. It makes the event interesting and a little bit different because people can use their mulligans throughout the weekend to call a mulligan on a game. I think there's a limit to one mulligan.
Per team. I think it's as long as it's before the tee and time at the end of the game. Like I think they can mulligan at the end.
I think
Unless we change them.
there's rules. There's rules in the general rules, but the only
Point being is that
the
we can
point being is that if you do a mulligan event, all of the money raised through your mulligans is expected to go to a charity of the host's choice. So like, in other words, this would be a great opportunity if you did have somebody going through something. Sometimes I know we've done it for like folks that, had struggles with the hurricanes and things like that. Use it to generate a good sense of community amongst your local group and to help somebody out that might be in need. All right. Let's see. Let's go. Yeah. This was a good post. This got a ton of comments and interesting opinions on this. I believe Jason started this post, but excuse me.
Is it better to be early or late? Now I played twice. One time it was really late and it totally messed me up. And then the second time it wasn't totally late and I was so confused because
And you were messed up again?
that I messed up the second one. And so I don't have a good one for neither one. I think I would much prefer it early than the late one. The first time I did it, I got the latest one and I was completely out of discs and I spent my whole fireball time running around picking up discs. And then I was like, I don't know how to fix this problem.
I mean, I know I read through the comments, and as I was reading through the comments, my opinion was kind of changing based on what people were saying. Because my initial thoughts, and I still think this is where I stand until I change my mind. I have the right to change my mind, but I like the later fireball because my goal is I would like to knock out the board before the fireball bonus time
Right.
comes on. So I think I
But
can
then
knock
all
out.
your discs are gone.
Well,
I have to
yes.
run around and pick them up during the fireball bonus time, which is exactly what happened. I was like, I'm going to knock out all eight, and then I'm going to have my points for fireball bonus time. But what I was doing is running around picking up discs during fireball bonus time.
Yeah, that probably doesn't score too many points.
Probably doesn't.
So I definitely think there's still a learning curve for me with Fireball. I haven't figured out the best strategy. I haven't figured out exactly where I'm hoping that Fireball bonus time comes in. I know Jason and Ben both commented, and they like earlier. There was a bunch of people that said earlier was better.
Yeah,
I liked Rose
like later.
comment. He just said just ignore the Fireball bonus time
Just play.
completely and just yeah just play, just knock out the zones, and when it comes on just hit the zones that you don't have. I kind of like that as well.
Terrible idea.
Yeah.
It's like being present in your routine because there's no way to plan for a variable timer. That's not true. There are ways to plan for a variable timer, right? So like one of the strategies, you can hold back a certain amount of discs and only play with four. And then when your timer comes up, then use the other four, like have them banked, right? Um, but yeah, it's like variable. You don't know when it's going to come. How are you going to prepare for that? It's like freestyle.
Yeah, and well, and speaking of freestyle, that's part of what this whole thing is about, is like that added stress is exactly what you deal with on the freestyle field when things go wrong, when you have to reset things, when a sequence doesn't go right, or you don't have the
Disc
number of
rolls out of
discs.
bound.
Yeah.
The dog
And,
drops one, blows off a disc when you needed them to be far away, and now they're right up your butt, and your disc is all the way 40 yards down the
yep.
field, and they didn't go and get it.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on this podcast, but and I think this person might actually listen to the podcast occasionally, so he might hear it. But at a non-UpDog event, an event where you could only have 5 discs, I was at this event watching this person, and they threw their first disc, like they had like this long kind of throw to start their routine, which was
Yeah.
a cool way to start their routine. But I don't know whether it was nerves or wind or whatever it was, but he chucked it and it went into somebody's tent and
Yeah.
like slid underneath their like
Yeah.
matting, and the dog couldn't get it. So the dog's over there trying to scratch to get the disc, couldn't get the disc, and now I've only got 4 discs for the entire rest of my routine.
You've just admitted it was you,
Talk
Jack.
about
Just admitted it
stress.
was you, Jack.
No, it wasn't me.
You just said for the rest of my routine.
Right. But it wasn't me. I'm just
Oh,
saying,
okay.
like, if that was me, I'm thinking for the rest of
Okay.
my routine, now I have only 4 discs. No, it was not me.
Okay. Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, that's stress, that's
That
dealing
is.
under pressure, coming up with another plan, and that's what Fireball is kind of all about too, is it adds that level to the game.
Yeah, it's adding that decision under stress element of freestyle where a lot of people in that scenario, if they don't already have a plan in place for what to do when the scenario comes up, they just I call it an F it throw, where they just chuck the disc. Not even
Yeah.
looking. They don't even know where it's going. They just chuck the disc. Go, dog. Go away from me. I need some space to pick up my disc and remember what I'm supposed to be doing, right? And so, as you develop in freestyle, you put plans in place of how to handle that stuff. And in our UpDog games, that's what we're developing here. Is we're trying to develop that part of your brain that allows you to access prefrontal cortex stuff, thoughtful and like logical brain stuff, instead of the lizard brain stuff that we get into where we panic. And so it's a shift of different zones of your brain to be able to think versus survival and an effort throw down the field, right? So yeah, you could do that with Fireball. You could just be like and just throw your discs. But the point of the game and the variable timer is to have you develop the skill of thinking logically under stress, like stress situations, which is, of course, Jack and I are always trying to get people towards being able to enjoy and play the game of freestyle. So that's a really important freestyle skill for a lot of people.
Yeah, Fireball, when I played it the first couple times, immediately when the bonus time came on, I was like, all right, I need to throw to the 8 because that's like going to get me the most
Double
points.
points. Yeah.
But like a lot of times, like my dog wasn't lined up good for that throw. And honestly, like if I would have thought about it, I'm just throwing away a disc because that's unlikely to be a catch.
Yep.
Now I have one less
Time is
disc, and I
wasted.
just wasted a bunch of time throwing to the 8 when really my dog was lined up for the 5.
Yeah.
I would much rather have 10 points than no
Nothing.
points. And so that, like, I definitely reflected on that after the game was over.
Right. But in the moment, it's pretty.
Right.
I mean, the first time I played four-way, the first several times I played four-way play, I was so confused. If the judge wasn't telling me which zone to go to, like you can't, you're standing there in the middle, like which zone is open? Anyone who's played four-way play can relate to the first time they played, first couple times they played, being like your orientation being off like that. Fireball
Yeah.
is like a big step up from that. So not only do you have 8 zones instead of four, but now you have this variable timer in there that like panic alerts you of like a 7 second window that you have or a 15-second window that you have to go get points. And like you're in a different process when that happens.
And
You're
you
thinking
have
about something else,
all your friends around the outside edges of the field
yelling at
yelling
you to
at
throw
you.
it somewhere.
Right. Yep. Yep.
We
It,
should pay our friends better. Because if we could just pay our friends to call out the right stuff that they can do in their non-panicking brain and their prefrontal cortex, then they can yell out the right spots, and we just need to have good coaches on the side of the field, and we don't need to think.
I, I'm not sure that they're really rooting for me.
You have to pay them better. That's
Okay,
why
I
I started
guess.
it.
Oh yeah, Kat said they are if it's bike club. That's true.
Yeah, right. Yeah, team sports.
All right, and then at the end of that, there was a little conversation too about saving the sweet spot to the end, or just going ahead and just hitting it as one of the zones.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that's a team by team decision. Like if you have a dog that you have a confidence that you might clear the board, then I totally agree with that notion of
Going for it. Yeah.
just treat it like another zone and just knock it out.
Yeah.
But I don't have that confidence with every one of my dogs, and so if I it's going to be dependent on which dog I'm playing, could be dependent on the conditions that I walk out to.
Or how they start.
Because yeah, exactly. I might
Like,
have in
this
my
is
head
not the day.
I'm gonna clear the board, and my first 5 throws are misses.
Drop, 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 drop.
Right,
Okay,
I'm gonna
we
be
can
like,
start
okay,
to
I'm not clearing the board.
do the board today.
And then if you figure that out, I mean, 16 points is huge. So
Mhm.
like if you can get that 16 points, that's gonna definitely help you out.
Yep.
So it's not always one way or the other for
Nope.
sure.
Yep. Yep. And then neither is freestyle. There's decisions you got to make. If anybody ever gets tired of hearing about freestyle, let me know. All right, Jack, last one.
We need to just have like
Freestyle minute.
a button that I just push and it just has you go and then in freestyle.
All right, you're next.
All right. Another cool thing that popped up on the podcast about a week or so ago was something I didn't even know was in the works, but I'm really excited about it. And Ben Morin up in the Minnesota club, he's got a device that they were beta testing that looks like it's a standalone device that he's created. It looked like it was about like maybe that big. I didn't see it personally, but just from what I saw on Facebook. And it's not like a stream deck where I have to have it connected to a computer, but it essentially plays any of the timers that you need for any of the UpDog games. So it's got a single button. I just push the button for 90-second timer. I just push the button for the regular 60-second timer. I push the button for boom or whatever it is. And he's got it laid out really cool. It's got the keys have each of the keys either have a number on it, like 60 seconds, or they have like, I think for boom, it was like a explosion on the key. So like I knew which button to hit for whichever game. And the
What
really
about
cool
Fireball? Were there six different buttons for Fireball, or was it a random button?
No, there were six different buttons, I believe. So
How do we get this
it's
thing?
so so I think it's still in beta testing. But Ben posted about it on the discussion page, and there were a lot of people that reached out to him and said that they'd be interested. Anytime that you got a really cool innovator and an engineer that can put something together like this, I mean, obviously, sometimes they do it just for their own enjoyment. Like, I'm
Personal
going to
use,
see
right?
if I can do this, and I'm going to maybe make it for my local club. But I definitely think Ben has in mind that he'd like to be able to offer it to other clubs for purchase. And if you're thinking about that as a designer, you want to know, like, okay, how many people might be interested? Five or
Right.
like 50,
Right.
or 100 or whatever. So definitely reach out to Ben, comment on his post, just so that he knows, like, hey, if I were able to like actually produce this and get it out to clubs, how many clubs would be interested?
Right. Yeah.
I already told them, like, I definitely think once they've got their working model of it, this would be super easy at UpDiff. We wouldn't have to deal with computers, wouldn't have to deal with the little like touchpad on the computer where
Right.
my fingers get wet or
Yep.
whatever, because it's
And the
definitely
people
gonna be
coming in and out
raining.
all the time,
Right.
our assistants, and then having to figure out the timers and the little tiny play button and stuff. It creates delays. It creates stress for the teams when the timer doesn't start when it's supposed to. You can't hit the button at the right time. So this is a really useful tool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about it. And so I'm gonna stay tuned. You guys do the same. Check out the discussion page on his initial post if you didn't see that.
Yeah. And what do you have going on in August? I know you're leaving to go on the road. I'm leaving to go on the road. You're going to a lot of places. Where are you going in August?
I mean, luckily, Kat's behind me, so when I start saying where I'm going, she can tell me that I'm wrong or right, because I really don't know. I'm going to be driving, and Kat will be telling me which direction
All
to
right,
go
Kat.
to
Kat,
determine.
where's Jack going in August?
We're going first big stop is Pennsylvania. He has a
A
seminar.
seminar up in PA, Wolfpack, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And then the second weekend we are in Nova Scotia for the Maritime Cup.
That's a big, and by the way, I think that should be on our thing, Jack. It's not on our monthly events because I knew that one was coming up in Nova Scotia. I have so many people, so many students going up to that event. That's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it's
Are you going
full.
up to judge or to play or what are you doing?
Jack, what are you doing?
I just was assuming you were answering all questions. Um, I will be judging.
Okay, awesome. That makes sense why a bunch of people are going up. Wow. Okay, great. So you're going up to judge the Nova Scotia event. Bunch of people are going to be at that one, and that one's got freestyle. Awesome. What
Yep.
else?
And then the next weekend we're going to UpDog event in Connecticut on Sunday. So
Are you playing that one? Judging that one?
play
Woo, you get to play.
H2D2. We're playing with them on
Oh,
Sunday.
that's up. I was just up in that area.
Yep. So
And then what?
and then home.
Oh, so you're going just right up the East Coast and then coming back down.
Yep.
Seminar, judging, playing, and then coming home.
Yeah,
That's
there's other stops in between, but those are the major stops.
And we're taking our new travel trailer, so that should be fun.
working out the kinks of that and figuring out how to
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah, I'm saying that sort of sarcastically. I mean, it should be fun, but also like I'll be pulling it, so I don't know how fun that'll be. But it's a small one. It's only like 22 feet and
Mhm.
it's pretty lightweight, so it should be
Won't be bad.
pretty easy to tow, but it's still stressful. Like just like
First
Fireball.
time. Like what? Like Fireball?
Yeah. Well, it's stressful. Like I always get stressed when I pull into like a gas station and you've got the trailer behind you and you're taking up lots of space. And
You're
I don't
sticking
ever,
out in an awkward
and I'm
spot,
all right. I'm always worried that I'm gonna get stuck because
not be able to back out or pull
you
out.
won't, right, exactly. Or like you pull in and it looks like, oh yeah, I can easily pull
Get
pull
out and now
forward and get out. And then all of a sudden, while you're pumping
people pull
gas,
out.
like a whole bunch of people pull in front of you, and you're like, well, now I can't get out.
Yep.
So anyway, that stuff stresses me out. It probably
Yep.
shouldn't, but it
Me too.
does.
Well, I don't like backing up big giant trailers.
Yeah.
And when I was in my RV, I had my car behind me and I couldn't back out.
Yeah.
But I was in a diesel lane, so that made it easy. I just went to the truck lane. But your vehicle's gas, so you got to be with the Gen Pop people that cut you off at the lane and don't care.
Right.
Here's a public service announcement. If you're at a gas station, you see someone with a travel trailer, don't park in front of them because it's really hard to get out and it creates a lot of stress.
Yeah, and I don't think people realize it
They
because
don't
most of
unless
the
they
people
have the
over there,
situation.
yeah, most of the people over there probably have never driven
Yeah,
rigs like that
realize.
or whatever. Like you said, on the other side, everybody over there has a large vehicle and is towing, so they're understanding, I guess. But anyways,
Yep.
it should be fun. It should be fun. How about you,
That's
Dre? What do you got going on? I know you're going to be
uh,
gone for a while too.
yeah, we're gonna both be gone for the same amount of time. I'm driving out to California to do some dog shows in the San Francisco area for extreme dogs. So I'm excited about getting back to some dog shows. And then I'm going up to Montana, which I haven't been on Montana in a few years, and that's to do some dog shows out there. And then I'm gonna hit the quad finals, I think, in St. Louis. Planning on doing
Cool.
that on the way back from Montana, and then back here to Tennessee for a couple days just to unload my van, and then I'm gonna load it back up again, and I'm going out to teach a seminar at Howell and what is it? Is it Bark and Howell? It's Dies Club. It's the new one out in Maryland, and I think it's Bark and Howell is the name of the group. She just set up a really nice facility there, and that's over Labor Day weekend. So we're teaching a jam camp seminar there. We're gonna have baseball, kickball, slip and slide. I'm very excited
I
about.
saw that. I
I
saw
want
that.
it so bad.
I
We're
was
doing it.
gonna. I actually typed up a comment and was about to hit send, and I was like, "No, Jack, that's just mean," so I didn't send it. But
No,
basically, my comment was, "Well, my feeling about my chances in the fall is much better since all of you guys are
everything's
gonna
gonna be
have broken
broken.
collarbones."
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. So yeah, kickball, slip and slide on Saturday evening, and it is jam camp. So if you do have, if you, I think it's almost full. There's only a spot or two in every jam camp left, but and one of them's full. But if you're looking to, if you're heading out of the weekend on Monday for Labor Day, you can grab just a jam camp on Friday or Saturday. But it's almost full. That's Labor Day weekend. But really, you should just come on Saturday night for the slip and slide kickball because I'm very excited.
Break a hip.
So excited about that. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah, and then I'm coming back here, and I'm so excited. Just moved to Tennessee, Chattanooga, so there'll be a new club and UpDog stuff happening in this area. So if you are an UpDogger in the Tennessee or the Mid South, apparently it's called here, look for some disc dog and UpDog action to be started in the Chattanooga area. We have a great club in Nashville already, run by Ashton. There's another one in Knoxville, but there's nothing in Chattanooga. So we're looking forward to getting some UpDog started in this area.
That'll be really cool.
It's gonna
I
take
know
a
that.
minute. I need to unpack. I need to
Yeah.
unpack this stuff first.
But
And
I know that there's
I'm
already some players, some teams that are excited about that in the area, so that'll be cool.
really excited too. So yeah, that's what we have. That's what we have going on in August. We got some cool UpDog events. We have some travel coming up, some shows, some seminars. So it's going to be fun. I think the month is going to fly by, and we're going to be home in September and coming up on finals. The last weekend of August usually is when the finals start as well. The classic finals that are not UpDog. So we'll be traveling around doing a bit of those, you and I as well, and Kat.
Yep.
So
All
maybe
right.
we'll see some people in Chattanooga here in Sept or October. I don't even know when that is, September or October. But in the meantime, hopefully
So
we'll see you guys
I
around that.
I have some far out facts, Trey.
Got far out facts?
Yeah.
Oh,
So we talked about
far out fact.
so we talked about the satchels, right?
Yeah,
That
the
you
nut sack.
that you can wear. And it made me think of the fanny packs. Do you remember like
Yeah,
the fanny packs
in the
from the 80s
90s,
and 90s?
80s,
Like
90s.
they were huge.
Yep.
And then they kind of just disappeared. And so like I was just curious, like, like what was up that? Why they disappear or like, what's going on with fanny packs these days? So I have some fanny pack facts. Woo! Um,
These are hysterical.
so uh, traditionally the fanny pack is worn with the pouch at the front, but the separate American and British names, that's how it got the fanny pack name because we started wearing them backwards. Um, they are called fanny packs in America or bum packs in Britain, in England. So that's kind of cool. And didn't know this, but there are some interesting names for them in other countries. In France, They are known as banana bags. In
Do you think
Spain,
they wear them in the front of the back in France?
I'll leave that one
The
alone.
front of their pants.
In Spain and Poland, they're known as kidney bags.
Interesting.
And in Italy, it's known as the marsupio or marsupium.
Oh, that'd be in the front.
And in Costa Rica, they are called a skippy or a kangaroo. Makes sense, right? With the pouches, right?
Front, yeah.
They were very popular in the 80s and 90s. They grew out of popularity when they became known for being used by tourists and nerdy
Yes.
dads. Like
I
all of a
think
sudden, it just was like, yeah, I think what happened was,
the photographs. What's that company we used to go to in high school for our senior pictures?
um,
Something shots, glamour shots. It was the
oh,
glamour
okay.
shots of the 80s dude with the mustache and the tight pants with the fanny pack that killed the fanny pack. It's the dude with the mustache. And now that is literally the style. It's back.
So,
And
well, that's
it's like 17 to 25 wearing that same exact design.
Well, that's what I was seeing. So, like, apparently it's making a comeback. The fanny pack is making a comeback, but they've rebranded. It is not called the fanny pack. This is why I didn't know it existed. So they rebranded them, and they are called tactical packs.
Tactical.
Yeah. So like, it sounds much more
Cooler.
rugged, I guess, cooler. But
Less
essentially,
refined, not
they
80s
are back, and like you've probably seen them too. They make them now that go across the
across
chest
the
or
shoulders.
whatever, like a shoulder strap bag. I think actually Babs had some of those sling bags
Yep.
recently at
And they
UpDog.
sold. They
Yeah.
sold really well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, there's some fun facts for you about
Fannies and banana
satchels.
bag.
About satchels, yeah.
I think this might be the highlight of the episode.
All right, guys. We hope to see you on an UpDog field soon. Please,
And in the meantime, be kind to each other.
and be kind to your animals. We will see you next time on The Sweet Spot.
You guys.
Is that the nutsack?